Go live. Hello, everyone. I'm the Witch King of Samra, and I am running Empire of the Petal Throne for my session 4 of this campaign. On my right, you have Jaludak Sisu. I forget. I don't speak Soleani. But he is played by Ark. Sorry, had video playing in the background. Okay. And then on the bottom is Giso, played by one of my friends, Random.
Hello.
We are currently missing one of our players, Simon, who is playing Sol Duufam, the farmer turned fighter. And anyone want to tell everyone who could potentially watch now or later what has been happening in the game so far?
So we've been hired by a Solyani noble, priest of the god. Oh gosh, what's his name? Sarku. That's it. The sort of chaotic aspected god of the dead, to enter the underworld of Jakala to retrieve an artifact for him, resembling a gauntlet of ancient make. Along the way, we've encountered another sect of the Temple of Sarku, who are hell-bent on stopping this other fella from retrieving it on competing theological grounds. Ended up subduing and ultimately killing a small group of their priests. Along the way, we've also encountered a couple of underworld creatures, such as a weeper. Or was it a weeper or a whaler? Some sort of
It was basically like a demon that could cast illusory stuff, and
yeah,
it tends to mimic wailing children or women.
Right, some kind of psychic brain-sucking monster, and a bunch of sort of verminous corpse-eating creatures that, in the latter case, happened to be infected with some kind of quite hideous disease that caused rapid flesh breakdown once they'd been dispatched. So yeah, now I think we're probably heading deeper into the underworld.
Yes, but here's the thing. If I remember correctly, everyone had been associating with a group of priests of the opposing theological sect of the Temple of Sarku, and you were going to a ruin further down and away from the campsite where they were based at.
Yeah, we also found some. Did you mention we found that treasure, and then our employer started taking that up to the overworld?
No, what treasure was that?
Treasure in the last room that we were in. I think there were some statues there.
Oh yeah, there were some statues and gold and.
But yeah, with this rival sect of Sarko, I guess they are kind of hedonistic and he Duufam was thinking about joining them because he thought that he could lavish in the pleasures of the flesh in eternal undeath, and well, kind of found out that didn't turn out. That wasn't exactly what they had in mind.
Yeah, they're basically a sect of Sarku worshippers that decided, let's have the pleasures of the flesh in our earthly bodies, but as soon as we die, we're dead. We're corpses. We don't care anymore. We surrender to death and Sarku's embrace. But yeah, that was what happened so far. They have not encountered anything tremendous, but they did encounter. I forgot to mention that they also encountered a monster, which would inevitably be taken into D&D and be used as the lurker above. So they also fought that, and they're on their way toward potentially becoming citizens of Solyanu.
Yeah, some of the other notes I have here is we gained 460 experience. I guess that's how
Yes.
much gold we gained as well, but
Yeah, well, I think I actually said that you got more XP than that.
mm-hmm. Oh, that's right. I got a note here that says we sent up 400 Kaitar's treasures worth.
Mm-hmm.
I've got this name written here. I think this is our employer. It's Akarj,
I think so, yeah.
and we're
And
looking.
the total XP that you should all have is 1,510.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I've got.
All right. Did not have that. And then the last note is that they found this gauntlet by sending down their undead minions, but their minions can't touch it.
Yes.
So that's why we've been hired to come down here and retrieve this gauntlet.
It also explains why the Temple of Sarku wants it in their hands and not in someone else's.
There's also some history about this place, going all the way back to Engsven Laganga, I believe.
Yes. There was actually some statuettes from Engsvan Laganga.
I've got this note that says the runes date to Alien of Samra.
Do they?
That's what I've got that in parentheses. I don't know. I have no idea.
Well, I may have said that, but I probably meant that they date back to like the first Imperium.
Okay. All right.
But there are artifacts that, uh, like the statuettes, date back to Engsven Laganga and the Priest Kings. And then there's also the artifact itself, the gauntlet, which is, I think I was saying, yeah, that was the one that dates back to Ilion of Samra.
What did?
The Power Glove gauntlet thing.
Okay. All right. Yeah, remember you mentioning that parts of an ancient civilization were built into the city
Mm-hmm.
above. I guess they just built on top of.
Well, yeah, they have like this practice in Solyanu, and I think probably the other five empires as well, where every 500 years, roughly, they just raise the city and build on top of it, and that's how you get tons and tons of underworld levels of Jakala and various other places.
All right.
Oh, Simon has joined us. Hello, Simon.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank fuck for that.
Yeah.
Is this being streamed live or is this
This is being streamed live. We've been live for 8 minutes and 28 seconds.
cool? Can you drop a link in the private chat so that I can share it?
Sure. The stream or the link to the game?
The stream for people to watch.
Okay, sure.
I'll go spam it around quickly.
I'm just going to put it in promotions, so if you go to the top of my Discord server, you can find it there.
Okay, cool. Yeah, sorry, I've been having PC troubles.
It happens.
But it seems to be sorted now. Or at
Cool.
least my microphone is working and I'm here. So
Yep. I don't think we have any viewers right now, but
we
well, other
will.
than me.
I've just dropped a link to Google because they're painting, and I said put it on in the background. I'm
Okay,
just going
cool.
to spam it across some things.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a couple of minutes.
Yeah, we were just discussing what had happened in the previous sessions and what we've discovered and what's the various goings on of the setting.
The last thing I have is that we crossed an underground river and we were now at an encampment from that. I believe it was that second sect of priests originally.
Yeah, and I meant to come up with a name for them, but I haven't yet. Sorry.
But yeah, so from the encampment, then, where what are our options as far as where we can move on?
So, if I remember correctly, what I said was there's a kind of a building that is somewhat collapsed, but most of it is intact. And it's like down maybe 30 feet and then going across maybe 60 feet.
Down as in like deeper down vertically?
Yes.
Okay.
But the campsite where you were with the Sarku sect, who you thought you wanted to join, they were basically at the base of the stairs where that leads down to.
Right, okay. All right. Well, I think we've got our directions then.
Yep, and I believe this is actually the point where you can potentially get the artifact.
Oh, tight.
Mm-hmm. So, is there anything you guys say to the priests or anything that is going through your minds as you just are about to head into the ruin that more likely than not has the artifact in it?
I mean, Jalulak is definitely thinking about why would we give up this gauntlet? What could we do with it? I guess that question's in his mind.
Does he say it to anyone?
No, he keeps it to himself for now.
Okay. Because, I mean, it's not impossible for you guys to talk to each other outside of the whole priests nearby. It's up to you guys, though.
Okay. Let's see.
So, like, you guys can plan something out, because if I remember correctly, you were saying that you wanted to betray these guys and bring the artifact to your patron.
I thought we'd agreed with them that we'd get the artifact and they'd get everything else.
Oh, yeah. Wait, because you agreed that you all get the artifact and they
We
get
get the
treasure?
artifact and they get whatever else is left.
Okay.
We're
I
being
do kind
paid
of remember
to
something about that.
retrieve the artifact.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so as you see the last embers of the campfire where the priests were resting, you all travel further down and across, step by step, the drip drop of water from above, potentially going back to rivers and streams of Jakala in ages past. You find yourself at the base of the building where you hear in the distance the skitterings of creatures.
Is this on the second floor?
This is on the, so you've gone down one floor, two floor, three, so this is on the third floor.
Okay.
Is somebody mapping this?
The last map I've got is from our last session in general.
Yeah, I mean we're in a different area, so we could start a new map. But
Yeah,
Just
I'm keeping a
figure
map on NS Paint as I go along.
I don't think my PC is reliable enough for me to be doing the mapping. We'll end up with it like last time I did it, and it'll crash and we'll lose the map. So
Well, I mean, we don't have to draw a map necessarily. It's helpful, but we don't have to.
I'll try to keep a map. I've just got some graph paper.
Okay. Okay, so let's see.
So just to clarify, so the last map that we showed had the entrance, and then it heads there's a room. It goes. Then there's a crossroads. To the right is where we fought the Whimper, and then there's a hallway with fungus, and then it says a level 2 or L2.
Hmm.
So that's the second level. So how did we get to the third level?
So you got to the third level by going down the steps that led from the campsite and into the ruin that you assume has the gauntlet in it.
Okay. All right. So the campsite was where the fungus was, or the Whimpers?
So the Whimper was above in the room that you got some of the treasure from, I think. And you thought it was like there was like a bandit's corpse next to it or something.
Okay, so there's the crossroads, and then to the north is the treasure room, and then to the left of that there's a nest.
Yes. And then if you go further east, if it's east, but for reference, it's basically east.
Okay.
And then you go further north and then down. That's where the third level is.
All right. Okay. All right. And where are we now? What does this space look like?
This space is kind of it looks almost like a cavern. But there is it very well could be an artificial cavern, if that makes sense. But as you go towards it, towards the ruin, you can see it's kind of an open-ish air area. And you can hear the dripping of water in the distance. And if you like fall off the edges of the steps, or like the bridge, they'll fall for potentially a while.
Okay. I see.
Right. Okay. So there's a bridge to cross to get to the other side of this cavern. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And we hear creatures from the other side of the bridge. Was that right? We heard something moving.
Yes, there. You've heard the skittering of like insect-like animals or monsters nearby.
Should have brought my crossbow.
Okay. How well constructed does the bridge look? Is it sort of like a rickety old rope bridge, or is this like construction of the ancients?
This is this could easily be one of the. It's not a construction of the ancients, but it might as well be, because if you can imagine kind of the bridge path that they traveled on in Moria in The Lord of the Rings,
Right.
it's kind of similar to that.
Okay. So ancient stone, no guardrails,
Yeah.
not OSHA approved. All right.
Who all are we traveling with again?
You're traveling with, I believe, one Pechoy, and the Pechoy is the torchbearer, and the rest are like porters, and I think you have like one warrior with you.
Wait, did you say only the Petroy has a torch, or did you say some of the other ones were?
Some of the other ones have torches too, but
Yeah,
most of them are porters, so they'll just carry treasure or artifacts out.
All right, I'll grab one of the porters by the shoulders who is carrying a torch, and I'll push him forward along the path.
So you go forward on the path, and as you are traveling, you hear the flapping of wings. And as you enter the building, you see again the Biridlu. Hey, Ghoul. Sorry.
Hey, cool.
interrupt. But yes, you have the out of character. Just so you know, Ghoulie. This monster is what inspired the lurker above in D&D. But anyway, so you see this black cape-like flying creature clinging to the ceilings,
Oh, that's right.
and it drops down onto the Petroy.
Oh shit. Okay. Well, leap on it and try and cut the Petroy out before he starts getting absorbed by it.
Well,
Let's chop this thing up.
hold on, because there's a bit of a issue with that. Let me see if I can figure out what the answer is real quick.
Or are we single file on this bridge?
Oof.
You are. Well, you're off the bridge. You're in the building now, and this monster, unfortunately, your Clenhide weapons don't pierce it or cut it.
Oh no.
You need a
Okay.
steel weapon.
Do any of you guys actually have steel weapons?
Yeah, I don't have a steel weapon.
No, me
He
neither.
still has magic.
I'm pretty darn sure.
I mean,
No, I've just got a regular rifle.
the only magic I have that I could use against it would possibly be a bit illusion. Let me see what illusion actually can do. I don't know whether or not I can like give it the illusion that the Petroy is red hot or something.
Yeah. Or that it's on fire.
Let's see. Okay, yeah, so it is actually kind of like Phantasmal Force where it can deal damage.
Oh,
Um,
Cool.
Yeah, I might be able to like convince this thing that the Petroy has just burst into flame.
so do you need to roll for it, or can you just do it?
I think if it's in combat, which I presume this is, I'm going to have to roll for spell success.
Okay. Let's do it.
All right, let's go. Oh yeah, goes off.
Awesome. So the Petroy, who is screeching this high-pitched, barely audible screech that you can imagine only a Petroy could make, it suddenly drops to the ground as the Birilu flees up to the ceiling, screeching, and then it burrows its way into a crack in the ceiling and is screeching still because you weren't sure, or it, like this thing, fire is like an enemy to it.
Right. Okay.
And
Great.
and do any of you know about bearded loos at all?
Don't have any specific skill for it, I don't think.
Sorry, do we know about what?
The lurker above, basically.
Oh yeah, I have no reason to know about that.
Yes, CS2 wouldn't know anything about it, but can he actually see the illusion that Gisso cast?
Does it say that you can do that?
Let's see. Limited illusions are created. A 60% chance of being believed by non-intelligent creatures and 40% chance of acceptance by intelligent or semi-intelligent ones. Damage taken from illusions believed to be actual damage. Illusions are limited to user only. Cannot create an illusion. His whole party is invisible, although he can create an illusion about himself. It's kind of up in the air. It's up to you, really, I think, whether or not you can see it or not.
I think that it depends on if your characters have higher than average or just average psychic ability.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Yeah, my psychic ability is 62, which might be above average.
I think
Just
it is.
for any viewers, I've just put a picture of a Petroy as my
Yep, that's
Yeah.
they're
Just so
basically like
they know what they are.
insect creatures.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's somewhat psychic.
Does that mean that I can actually see what happened, or does
You
it mean
can
that I
vaguely
know?
see it.
What was that?
You can vaguely see it.
Vaguely see. Okay, interesting. Okay. Well, I
But yeah,
might
you
have to.
sort of see like a hazy sort of aura of flames around the Petal or something.
Exactly. Yeah.
I might have some idea that flame would be effective against this, but I suppose at this point, Siasu's still under the impression that his Klenhide axe might be potent.
Well, uh, good luck with that. This might end the adventure very quick.
All right, well, we should get across this thing pretty quickly then.
Yeah,
How does the Petue look?
it's in pain. Like the bearded Lou probably punctured its hide somewhat, or its chitin rather. But nothing that taking some herbs and unguents and healing for a couple weeks will heal.
All right, I'll smack some of the other assistants and I'll say, "Get in there and help them. Let's keep moving."
Okay, fine. Let's go. And they all rush in to get the Petchoy out. And let me see real quick. Okay, you all see on a I guess the term would be like a pedestal of some kind, the artifact. And I should mention that there are only about 1 or 2 turns left until that Beard Lou starts coming down to attack again.
Okay. Um, uh, we should all light torches, basically. And we've got loads of torches. I've got like 10 of them on me.
The Petchoy had quite a few, as did some of the other hirelings, but that's all, other than what you're carrying.
Right. So yeah, I've got like 10 torches on me. I think we should all have at least one lit, just so we can fend off this thing if it fears fire.
Does Gisso mention that?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. I'll make sure I've got a torch on me. I'll just go ahead and light that from somebody else's. But I want to see if I can get a clear look at this gauntlet. You said it's on a pedestal.
Yes.
Can you describe sort of the surroundings? Like, is it in a room, like a treasure room or something?
It's in a treasure room, and you can see that there are piles of gold and silver kaitars, more statuettes. There's some rugs. There's some artwork other than the statuettes, and you see it's almost like something is glittering on the gauntlet. It's almost like there's green or red or blue or yellow or shock white gems that are glinting on the gauntlet, but you can't really tell. There's no gems on it that you can see. Like if you touch it, there's no gem there, but it's glinting somehow.
Maybe some sort of force field refracting the light, perhaps.
So I'm going to turn to our allies, the priests, and ask them if there's anything that we should know about this room, anything that might be protecting it.
Well, as far as we can tell from our scout, there appears to be many monsters in this ruin, and for that room in particular, we've only sighted it. We haven't gone into it.
Okay. Well,
I understand we had an agreement for us to take the gauntlet and you to have whatever else is there. And would you miss any of these kaitars if we were to take a handful each?
No, of course not. We Solyanu are not ones to use Kaitars as much as you barbarians in the Foreigners' Quarter do.
I'll take that as a compliment.
Well, I'm glad you were willing to alter the deal.
Pray I do not alter it further.
I pray you might alter it further.
But okay, I've got a few uses of clairvoyance left today. I could try using one to sort of scout out the
I'll
room
be
a
right
little
back.
closer before we go
Okay.
in there.
What'd you say?
As I could try using my clairvoyance to scout out the room a little further closer before we can actually get in there.
Hey, you could do that.
Okay, so yeah, it basically allows me to see things 20 foot away from where I am. So sort of like into an adjoining room.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, if I sort of move my center of vision directly into the treasure room, do I notice anything that's alarming at all?
You do notice that there appears to be these emplacements on the ceiling and on either corner for either of the four corners of the pedestal, and they're shining some kind of sheen of energy or light or something. You can only imagine this must be something that the ancients created.
Right, okay. I'm thinking probably some sort of gun turret, basically. Some sort of automatic defense.
So we send a porter in first, right?
I mean, let's try throwing a rock first. Let's not move immediately to sacrificing the minions.
Okay. So, who throws the rock?
I will, I suppose. It's my idea.
Okay. So you throw the rock, and all of a sudden, you can hear these klaxons. In real life, you know what those sound like, but when it comes to these characters, there's just like this god awful blaring noise as the lights that created a sheen around the artifact are suddenly red, and there, as I mentioned, there's this awful noise and blaring through the building, and it's actually making the Biridlu skitter and screech louder.
Interesting. So just klaxons and no actual other reaction, yeah?
Not that you can tell so far.
Right, okay.
Some kind of alarm system. This noise is horrible.
I'm back, by the way.
We've set off an alarm by throwing a rock at it.
Okay. Let's enter the room then. Who should we? Shall we actually send the minions first, just to make sure that there isn't actually any sort of like life detecting?
Yeah, shove a minion in just to be on the safe side.
Do you shove the Petal in first?
Has he still got his like horrible bug hat thing on him?
No, he doesn't.
Okay. I think we should let the Petroy get a bit of a break. We could shove one of the other porters in.
Okay. So, you push one of them forward. I'm imagining it's one of the human slaves.
Yeah.
Let me roll a die.
I'm gonna say after them, in the service of Sarku.
Five. But as one goes forward,
Oh, we got some roboting there, Witch King.
Yeah, Witch King, I think your signal's going there on your Wi-Fi.
yeah, I'm seeing my the Wi-Fi signal going 1, 2, 3, 4 bars.
You seem to be all right now.
Okay. So, as he goes forward, he goes to grab the gauntlet, and his hand is disintegrated into pink mist.
Oh,
Wow.
But the alarm stopped.
Oh, well, at least he's done that.
interesting. Okay.
And I
Right.
should also mention the sheen of light that he pushed his hand through is gone now.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
Maybe
Try,
we should.
try and grab it with the other hand.
He's screaming like
All right.
bloody murder because he just lost his fucking hand.
I'll
Oh,
approach him at this point.
Sorry, carry on.
I'll clap my hand on his back and tell him builds character. Like if I have a closer look at this, so you said there was like a prison of light around it,
Yes.
and that's gone now.
Yes.
And yeah, okay, interesting. This thing doesn't look particularly like it doesn't have like an air of undeath or something around it, right? Like
No, it
it's
doesn't.
kind of a glamorous looking object.
It looks like an artifact of the ancients, I can tell you that much.
All right, I'm gonna reach out and I'm gonna grab it with a hand.
Okay, as you reach out to grab it, you do take 1 hit point of damage because it has some kind of energy field emitting from the gauntlet as well. But as soon as you grab it, it's gone.
Right. Okay.
All right, if I'm holding it, then I'm gonna look at it.
As you look at it, you can see it is gray with black, and on the basically like the back of the hand where the gauntlet would be, there are red, green, yellow, black, white, purple, and blue lights emitting from it and glinting on the gauntlet.
Interesting.
And there appears to be some kind of button on the wrist, on the inner wrist, that you press with 2 fingers.
All right.
By the
I'll
way,
turn-
the porter who had his hand disintegrated,
Mhm.
was it like cauterized or is this like bleeding out?
It's cauterized.
All right. Okay. Carry on. Just wanted to make sure he wasn't going to die.
Well, he might. He's in tremendous pain.
Well, it'll be of shock, and there's not much we can do about that at the moment, other than I don't know, give him a drink of water.
I'll turn and I'll look at my allies. Can I get a refresher on sort of like what our relationship as barbarians are?
In relation to who or what?
To Gisso and Sol He Du Fam.
Well, you're all barbarians.
Right, but like so like I'm I guess I'll just because this is being recorded and the people who are watching wouldn't know. My character has a skin defect. He grows too much skin, so his name means looks like Sue. I don't think he actually has a family, but in order to become a citizen of where are we now? Soyani?
The Empire of Solyanu.
Yeah, to become a citizen of Solyano, he would need a family name. So, like, what is my relationship to Giso and Sol Hidu Fam?
Do you guys want to talk about that?
I mean, I guess we probably just came from the same like barbaric fishing village, basically.
Yeah.
All right. I'm thinking like Giso and I probably have a pretty strong relationship. And maybe we've talked about something like this, but if in the case of becoming citizens, he would probably give me his family name.
Sure. I mean, I think we
Well,
probably
technically, you
end
would
up.
be adopted into a family, and
Yeah,
then
that's
that
the
family
idea.
would be part of a clan.
Right. So would that be like Giso's family and clan?
Potentially, but you have to remember that the clans that you quote unquote belong to on your barbaric island, they have very little bearing on the clans of Soyanu.
Okay. So does it actually not matter much that I might not actually have a barbarian family name?
Nope.
Okay, interesting. In any case, I think I probably have a pretty good relationship with Giso. And I'm thinking to myself, I really should have studied history. So I'm going to go present the gauntlet to Giso because he's a cleric.
Well, Giso's a magician. So he's
Oh,
basically a cleric, but not quite the same.
all right. Well, he's a magician. Wait, what are you sold? He do fam? Are
I'm a
you
farmer.
are you a fighter?
I'm a farmer with an axe.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I present this to Giso because he probably has a greater, deeper understanding of history and arcana than I do.
Ah,
Does he?
He definitely has more of an understanding than I do.
Perhaps. I don't know. Uh, I don't have those as skills. I do have a good intelligence score.
I mean, how about
how high
this?
is your intelligence?
How about this? Since there is no skill in the rules for like history knowledge, what if on the voyage over to Jakala, at least one of you were studying the history of Sulianu and how it relates to your barbaric homeland?
That makes sense. Probably trying to find out whether or not our sort of barbarian clan actually has any mainland relations at all.
And you would know that there are very, very distant relations because your homeland has been around for like 2 to 3,000 years, which no, actually I'd have to look at the timeline, but anyways, it dates back to settlement of the First Imperium, which there are some scant notes about in the margins in the history texts that you read that detail First Imperium, Silianu clans that went south and then just kind of disappeared.
Right, colonies that got separated from the mainland, basically,
Mhm.
and lost contact.
So
But
if you want, you can write down knowledge of classical history.
all right, sure, I'll do that. That seems like a handy thing to have.
Is that lurker from above thing still around?
It is. And there's one turn left until it comes back down.
All right. I kind of get the impression that this thing might be a weapon. Do I know anything about eyes by chance?
I think you would, yeah. You probably you all have probably seen the remains of eyes while scouting around the island north of the southern continent. But you've never actually used one. But you understand the concept. You press the button on it and it emits something.
It,
So
it
this
might be
gauntlet
worth
has.
briefly explaining what an eye is for anyone watching.
Yes, we should do that.
But
So,
it's kind of
do you
like a
want me to,
piece
or do you
of
want to random?
yeah. So eyes are basically pieces of ancient technology from back when the people of Tecumel were a spacefaring species. Essentially, the magic of Tecumel is sort of the use of interdimensional energies. Before people were able to actually use those interdimensional energies just using their own psychic power, because the Tecumel is embedded in like a dimensional pocket where these energies are much more abundant than they are in the sort of natural universe. They were still able to use them through technology. And eyes are those. They're basically sort of like little orbs with a button on the back. And when you press the button, it performs magic out of a little lens on the front of it. So these are essentially the most widespread and common sort of pieces of ancient technology that are still left in the world.
Yep, that's about it. I mean, they have all kinds of powers, but they don't have often many charges left in them.
Yeah, in D&D terms, they're basically wands.
Hmm. But
Alright, so
also, there are ways to recharge them. They're just not many people know about them.
So just to review, this has a bunch of lights on it, and then it's
Yes.
got two buttons that are kind of at the wrist.
Hmm.
And is there anything to signify that there's like, is there some directionality that it might like project something?
You see that one of the buttons has a symbol that you can only determine probably means fire. And there are like these like entry exit areas on the glove that if you shoot, if like you press the button, you imagine something shoots out of it.
Okay,
Right.
and then what does the other button look like?
The other button, it appears to have what you can only determine to be resembling a icon of Sarku next to it, but a very
Interesting.
different one than one you're used to.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, I with that I am going to slip the gauntlet onto my arm,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm gonna wait for that cave lurker to come back down, and then
Yep.
I'm gonna aim at it, and I'm gonna press the fire button,
Are you gonna press the death or the fire button?
the fire one.
Okay. So first of all, let me determine how many charges are left. So, yep, it has probably like 30 charges in it left. If you looked at one of the signs on it, if you could read the language of the ancients, you would see like 25 or 27 in the numerals of that ancient uh, language, for lack of a better word. But you can tell that once you press that button, a number or something switched down.
Okay, all right.
But as you fire the flamethrower at the bearded Lou, you see it consumed in flames, and it screeches the most unholy, demonic scream that you have ever heard. The kind of thing that you can only imagine in the underworld. And as it is screeching, it slowly turns to powder and then dissipates.
Boy,
All right.
I'll look back then at my party members, and then I'll show them, and I'll say, "Well, that's what one button does."
I dread to think what the other one does, but I want to know.
I'm afraid to find out myself.
All right.
One of the priests of Sarku comes over and says, I understand why we want that now. I don't suppose we can bargain with you to share access to that?
We were sent here on a quest to retrieve it. It's not for us, so I'm not sure that there's any bargain can be made unless it's with our employer.
Of course. And he goes over to one of his compatriots and speaks into her ear, and she nods, and they all, and then the leader says, "We should probably get out of here quick."
As they're, I suppose they're probably gathering treasures and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to ask. Okay, so the one person talked to another person. Did it seem like the person they were talking to was like a leader, or who was the leader in the
The
situation?
leader would be the one who is talking to the woman.
Okay, I'm gonna go to the leader and I'm gonna show him the symbols and I'm gonna say, "You wouldn't happen to know what this means, would you?"
What means?
The death symbol, the death button symbol.
I can't say. It appears to be something relating to ancient worship of Sarku, as far as I can tell.
What about your master? Do you think they would know?
I don't know. We would have to consult a grand sage about that kind of information.
All right. With that, Siasu is just content to keep the gauntlet on for now.
I was about to ask. Perhaps you ought to check if you're actually able to remove it, or is this some sort of like situation where it's welded to your hand now?
He will hear that that bit of wisdom, and he will attempt to remove the gauntlet.
Okay, as you take it off, you lose 2 hit points because it scrapes the skin off your hand. Not all of it, just some of it.
Oof.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Remember, I said when you put it on, it took 1 hit point away.
He's screaming from that. He's just yelling.
How badly injured are you?
I guess you take a look at my arm, and it's just like horribly cut up.
Right.
How
I'm
many hit
guessing
points
probably
do you
the more
Would
you
it be
use-
possible for me to, having felt that pain, choose not to remove it?
No.
Okay. All right.
Right. I'm guessing probably the longer you use it or the more often you use it, the more it'll take from you when you actually do try to take it off.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Probably best just to keep it in your pack for now.
All right.
So,
Yeah.
the porter slave that lost a hand, I'm gonna instruct them to fill up 2 sacks with gold with kaitars.
Oh, I thought you were going to say put the gauntlet on.
No, take 2 sacks, fill them with kaitars from that room, and one of them is theirs for the loss of their hand.
Okay. He says, I'll try to
it's
carry
probably
through.
better if we have a reputation for paying people off if they lose a limb.
Well, strictly speaking, he's a slave, so you wouldn't pay him.
Oh no, but he's only a slave until he can buy his freedom, surely.
That's true.
So I'm giving him a fat sack of gold to, he's lost a hand. What use is a slave with one hand? Let him be free and die in the streets.
So he takes the sack of gold graciously and says, "We got to get out of here quick," because you hear those skittering in the distance, and you hear on the walls and ceilings. You know that sounds almost exactly like one of the creatures you had fought earlier, the carrion eaters.
Oh, more of those things. Okay, let's get out of here. Hopefully they're not the diseased ones, but we shall see. Yeah, we've got what we came for. We'll get our payday regardless of how much treasure we pull out of here. Let's move.
And you can also come back here and get more treasure.
Yeah, potentially. Who knows if those priests will make it out?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, those priests are going to meet with an accident once we get to that bridge.
So you all head out to the bridge, and the priests are in front of you.
Can I knock him off?
You can try.
Cool. What do I need to roll?
I would say you need to roll a 1d100, and you need to get a 70 or less.
Okay, I'm doing that in your Discord, right?
Mm-hmm. I mean, you don't have to use it on Discord. You could also roll it in person if you wanted.
If you're happy for me to use real dice, I prefer.
I don't mind. I mean, so long as you're not cheating, but I will find out if you're cheating, of course.
If I'm cheating, that's no fun. I like failing. I'm just trying to work out where I put my dice now. Okay, I'll roll this one on Discord because I'm not sure where I've put my dice. But,
Okay.
dice roll.
Oh,
85.
no. So, you go to try to knock off one of the priests of Sarku, and you actually start to tip over yourself. Luckily, one of the slave porters grabs you and pulls you forward, and as that happens, you see that the priests of Sarku are arming themselves.
Harming themselves with what?
Clean blade weapons.
Okay, I see.
I seem to have slipped there, but gentlemen, why are you drawing weapons?
You tried to kill us.
Loudly, just to try and make sure everyone else can hear.
How many are there?
I think I said there were like 5 of them.
I'm gonna put the gauntlet back on. Does that deal 1 point of damage to me?
It actually doesn't deal any damage right now.
Okay. Okay, interesting. And then I'm going to aim it at them, and I'm going to press the death button.
And I'm going to duck.
Okay.
Oh shit.
Okay, let's see how this works.
Prepare to meet your maker, I say.
Holy shit, you killed all of them. You basically disintegrated them into nothing. Like Thanos snapped him out of existence, basically.
All right, I guess we know what that one does now, too.
I would gladly give their lives for knowledge of this power.
But you also notice that the counter has gone down 1 more, so it's now 25.
Okay.
So, do we give this gauntlet to our benefactors, or do we take over the city?
Well, you can be assured that if you try to take over the city, they will hunt you down and kill you, and make an example of you by impaling you bottom up on a spike outside the city.
Well,
They'd have to catch us first, and they'd be disintegrated in trying.
You only have 25 shots left, just so you know.
I don't know that in character.
But also remember that you're in a very tradition-bound world. So even though you're a barbarian, you still had traditions that you held hidebound to for millennia.
Yeah, perhaps Jolly Duck might disabuse our friend of the possibility of taking over an entire city with just 25 charges of a first age artifact.
I'm gonna make sure they heal me before they try to rip this thing off again. Siasu says, flexing his gauntleted hand.
Sorry, my dog's barking.
I mean, this is a fairly large city. There's no doubt going to be people who have access to eyes and all other forms of artifacts. We've got one quite good one, but I'm sure there's others about.
I turn around to have this conversation. I'm like, well, we know what it does now, so we can be confident in what we're giving up. It's just the power to kill.
You do notice that some of the people in the main room of this part of the underworld, they appear to be adversely affected by that gauntlet. The priests of Sarku, anyways.
Like after I press the death button,
Yes.
I look at them like, what am I noticing about them now?
They appear very sickly.
Oh,
That's what you get for worshiping Saku, I say. As I
No,
look
I
over
mean
them.
they look more sickly than they usually do.
Are these the same priests of Saku that were drawing their weapons and got disintegrated?
No. These are the ones. I was assuming we skipped ahead to you getting back to the surface, and you just met with your patron, like you were about to meet with your
Okay.
patron, and then
I ask, are you gonna be able to make it out to the assistants?
I think we should please give that artifact to us.
that's interesting.
I don't say anything, but I start thinking in my head, who are Sarku's enemies? Who would want this more than anybody?
Probably Xarul or Dumis temples. Mostly because it's an ancient artifact and they would like to really have their hands on it. We also know that Giso is a follower of Xarul, so yeah. But also remember that your patron is plying your way with money and resources and favors so that you can potentially become a citizen.
Right. And well, I guess Siasu right now is thinking mostly it would probably be best just to follow this this train of thought because it's better to not have any enemies than to have enemies.
Mm-hmm.
So giving this to somebody else would make Sarko our enemies, but not giving this to anybody else wouldn't make anybody else our enemies.
Yep.
Right.
Because you're not officially citizens yet, so they couldn't really give a care about anything you do other than if it affects them personally.
Yeah, I'm happy just to have the knowledge of what this thing does for the moment, and I'd like to hand it over to our patron just so we know who actually has it as well.
So do you
Do you
hand it
mention
over to
that in
them?
character, or is that are you thinking that to yourself?
I'll whisper it to you.
Yeah, I nod my head. Sounds reasonable. It's sound.
Having possession of the artifact would be one thing, but the knowledge of something as secretive as this, that's valuable in its own right.
Yeah, I'm not gonna become a fugitive just over this power.
Quite right.
It would need to be something much more wonderful.
Yeah, we need to get ourselves set up in a proper clan with a real clan house, at least a medium ranked clan. I wouldn't settle for anything less. Nothing less is worthy of my magnificence.
And I turn to look at Sol He Du Fam as I say this, and I say, and it's good not to forget the simple pleasures of life.
Yes. What is best in life?
And
although with this gauntlet, we really could crush our enemies, see them driven before us, and hear the lamentations of their women.
I would be
you
more
think too
concerned if I had
small.
more enemies.
All right. So yes, how far do we make it in the dungeon, or do we manage to reach the surface?
You've made it to the surface, and as you enter or exit the underworld and head out of the building that the entryway was in, you see your patron walking up towards you with sacks of kaitars.
Well, what do you know? We brought some as well.
So they're meeting us. Where are they meeting us?
They are meeting you outside of the building that you entered to get into the underworld.
Okay, so really long trek
Hmm.
back. Okay.
It's probably like 6 or 7 at night now.
Jaludak, how badly injured are you? How many hit points do you have left?
I'm feeling pretty rough, so I'm 3 out of 6.
Right. Okay. I think we should probably maybe beg the patron for a bit of healing for you before we try removing the gauntlet.
Yeah. Yeah, I hold up the gauntlet to show the patron. And I say something to the effect of, "I'll tell you all about it." And then,
And go ahead.
yeah, if it gives me the opportunity to tell him, I basically recant what happened and what we know about it, and the excruciating pain of removing the gauntlet.
And surely such a mighty and well-placed priest as he must have at least the power to heal such minor wounds.
Of course, of course. Now,
So, if you would help me by giving me just a little bit of healing, I would gladly remove this once more for you.
okay. And he puts his hand onto your arm where the gauntlet is, and you feel an immediate revitalization as the flesh is regrown and your energy levels are like shot up through the roof just from this healing spell.
Ah, God, it almost makes the pain worth it.
But as soon as he takes it off, it does not scrape any more flesh from you.
It seems that death button there has an adverse effect on followers of Sarku. That would be my guess.
I see. Well, it's best that we keep it then.
Yes,
Be sure
indeed.
to watch out if you have any colleagues in the Temple of Vimula. See whether or not that fire button has any effect on them.
Good idea. Well, I suppose I shall leave you all until we meet again.
Don't forget our generosity. I mean, by the gods, look what we've handed you.
Of course, it will all be taken care of, and you will be remembered in the annals of the Temple of Sarku's history. But here you go. He hands you all about like 200 gold kaitars each, and that's in addition to like the 800 gold kaitars you found in the room, and then the statuettes were probably like 50 to 60, well, I'll say 50 gold kaitars each.
Oh, were we not giving the statuettes to the patron?
I mean, you can.
We did gift those to them, I believe.
You gifted the ones you found on the upper levels, but not the ones on the lower level. Like the
Okay.
last level.
I believe we said that if we found any more, we would offer them to them for decorating their clan house.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then you give that to them. And he says, "Thank you very much." And he hands it off to his porter slave and says, "You will be remembered for this. And come soon, you will find another patron who could potentially help you in your quest to become citizens of the Imperium."
All right.
I'm gonna look around like, really? That didn't buy us citizenship?
Well,
All right, I'll take your word for it.
We're
As long
nearly
as we
there.
don't have to go delving into the underground again to get our citizenship.
You would actually know that to become a citizen, you need to get more favors in for you.
Okay. All right.
In out of character, you need to get to like 3rd level.
All right. And so, did you say we got 200 kaitars each, and then are we plus 800 each, or 800?
800 total plus 200 each.
Okay, so plus 400 each, essentially.
Mhm.
Or I guess there's only 3 of us.
Are we taking some off for what we gave the slave? Or what I gave the slave?
Are you?
Well, I told them they could have a bag of gold. Has that already been accounted for?
It has, yes.
Okay.
All right, great. Well, I think that's still a decent haul, and we should have enough XP out of that to level up as well.
I think you do.
I'll mention to the party after we hand off the gauntlet. That gauntlet was probably priceless.
Oh, almost certainly, but at the same time, the price of keeping it would have been too much for us to bear.
We'll certainly get further work, and that has value.
So to get to 2nd level, a fighter needs 2001 XP, and magic users need 2001 as well.
Well, I had 460 before that. How much XP have we taken in total from this?
For the gold, it's 800 plus 200, 900,
466 plus 1.
and then you also fought the Beardloo. Just because you defeated it really easily, it's not gonna make a difference in how much XP you get necessarily. But let's see.
And the priests that were disintegrated.
Yeah, that would probably be like 200 gold XP for the priests, and let's see, where does it talk about the XP for monsters? I forget where that is. Let's see.
I mean, that already puts me at 2,176, so that's definitely a level up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to need some help with the maths.
Well, you all gained like 1,000 XP basically.
Okay.
Just round up to a good 1,000 there.
Mhm.
Sounds fine to me.
So that'll put me on 1,460.
I believe that's 2,000 for, isn't it?
Yeah,
Shouldn't it be
you already had
2,510?
1,510.
Okay, so I've obviously not saved my character sheet after writing the XP in it.
Oops.
So I should be on 2,510, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cool.
So you all have reached 2nd level.
All right, groovy.
Awesome.
Ooh, I don't have my books with me, and I've got a cat in my lap.
Well, I can tell you that apparently it looks like for every class, it just takes 2,001 XP to get to 2nd level.
So what do we get from 2nd level?
From second level, let's see. Any warrior with a strength of 81 to 95 adds 5% to his acquired experience points. Any
Okay.
warrior with a strength of 90 to 100. Okay, so that's bonuses. You might want to take that into account because you will get bonuses from your attributes.
Okay.
Okay, so you get an extra skill first of all.
Yeah, is that what happens?
Yeah, so you get the next skill along your professional skills.
Yeah.
So for me, that would be telekinesis.
Oh, and I just found out there actually is a skill for history.
Excellent.
It's scholar, which you only get if you're a noble, basically. But I'll give you a simplified version of that. So you're not an out and out scholar, but you know a little bit about classical Silianu history,
Right, correct.
like a novice skill.
I have to roll for bonus spells.
Mm-hmm.
Do we roll for health?
Yes, you do. To just roll a d6.
Oh, okay. I thought there was like a roll and replace kind of thing. Like
What do you mean?
like roll one extra HD, and then if your new score is higher than your old score, you keep that.
I mean, that's how it's theoretically supposed to be done, but I don't want to run it that way.
Okay.
I prefer how regular D&D does it, or OG&D does it, where you just roll a d6 and add it to the total.
Oh boy, that's
So you
nice.
should have 12 hit points now.
That's really nice.
I've got bonus on my hit points, I think.
What'd you say?
I've got a high constitution, so I get a bonus on that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's an extra hit dice rather
Yep.
than an extra hit point. So I rolled 2, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like I get a group 2 spell.
Oh, cool.
Ooh, an extra 9 hit points.
No, you only roll 1.
Oh, right. Okay, got
So you
that.
just take the 5.
Right?
Okay, so what's the +1 hit dice I get then?
I was ruling that as a +1 bonus.
I thought you were rolling that as an extra dice.
Is that what the rules say, or?
That was what you'd written on the Techamel server.
Oh wait, let me check. Oh, but I think I said only when character creation is you roll attributes twice and take the higher of the two. That's what I see there in pins.
It was on the when you were chatting to that other guy on the other Techamel server.
Let me see if I can find it.
Because I thought you were doing it as a +1 hit point rather than hit die, and then you indicated that you were doing it as an extra die.
Oh,
And then I
think either I miscommunicated or you misheard something or misread something, because what I prefer to do is just add a +1 bonus, if that's okay with everyone.
Yeah.
Okay, so I get 6 extra hit points instead of 5, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
So is a hit dice the same for all classes?
Yes.
Okay.
Right. So since my character sheet appears to have not saved at some point, I had 7 hit points from character creation, which makes sense because that would be 6 plus 1.
Mm-hmm.
And then I get an extra 6 on top of that, which would be 13. And that
Yep.
should be correct, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
No, it would be 13, not 14.
Yeah, I said 13, didn't I?
Yep.
Okay, and now I need to find the rules to get my skills.
So what spell did you get, random?
Telekinesis.
Oh, cool.
So that's just like the next skill up, yeah. As in the next magic user skill. I don't think I
And I thought
actually
you
got
said
a
you got a
bonus
group
spell.
2 spell.
Beg your pardon?
Didn't you say you got a group 2 spell?
Oh, I thought you said I only rolled once, which would have been that I would have got a 10, which wouldn't have got me any group 2s, any bonus spells.
Oh, no, I was talking about the bonus spells. I thought you said that you got a group 2 instead of a group 1. My bad.
Yeah, because I was rolling separately for each group.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if I only roll once for both groups, then yeah, I only get just my skill up, unfortunately.
Hmm.
But let's have a look. Might get a increased basic talents though.
Yep.
Okay.
Have a look.
So increase in basic talents. You have to roll 81 to 99 on the percentile dice, and you add 5 points to one of your basic talents.
Unfortunately, 3 points off. Very
Oh
unfortunate.
no.
Okay, so I don't have all of the skills in order because it said on character creation to choose like X out of the first Y.
Yeah, so you fill up the ones that you haven't taken first, I think.
Yeah, so I do that rather than continue from the highest one that I've got.
Yeah, I think so.
Cool. And other than hit points and skill, is there anything else that needs doing?
Nope.
Yeah, you get an additional group 1 skill.
Oh yeah, that too.
An additional group 1 skill.
Isn't there a point where you can roll to see if you improve your stats?
Yeah, so you
Yeah,
can
that
roll
you have to roll an 80. What was it? An 89 to
81,
99.
I think. Yeah, the 81 to 99. Or if you roll a 100, you get 10 extra points.
And then you roll a 6-sided die, and it interprets the result as which attribute you get. The bonus 2.
So is that every level?
Yeah.
You check every level. Yeah.
All right. So is that something we should do?
Yeah.
All right. So 41. That's gonna be a fail.
Yeah.
Cool. I could go get my book now, but I think I just basically get sword skill.
Let's see. So, group 1 is stuff like baker, barber, bootmaker, bricklayer, butcher, carpenter, carpet maker, cook, dyer, stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so we gain an original skill, or do we gain a professional
Oh
skill?
wait, is it original or professional?
So you get one of both. So you fill up your next professional skill, and then you choose a group 1 original skill.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'll go get my book then. Be right back.
Oh, I'm getting really confused by this.
It's on section 421, acquisition of original skills. So when you get to level 2, you choose an additional group 1 skill.
Okay, so as well as being a farmer, I can now be a fisherman as well,
Yes.
Correct.
which I learned by going into the underworld.
Correct.
Okay.
Well, there was a river.
Which
A
I nearly
river
fell
that's like thousands of years old.
in. And we don't get any group 2 skills or anything like that.
No, not yet.
Okay.
Until level 3.
Okay, so I get I get a fighter skill, and I get a level 1 skill.
Are we doing bonus experience points?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll adjust my total. Should I just adjust my total experience then?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
And I know we typically go for an hour to 30 minutes to 2 hours. So I say we finish the level up, and then I'll skip ahead a bit in time and set up the inkling of the next adventure, okay?
All right.
Okay,
And then we'll call it.
cool.
And hopefully we can do that next week. But really, either I or all of us need to write down like in-character diaries of what's happening. I'll give you extra XP if you do it.
Oh, I'm a mace flail user now. Do you want us to put that in like a Google document or something?
Yeah, sure.
Should it be like a personal diary?
It can be a personal diary. It can just be like an account of the adventures. It doesn't have to be like a narrative necessarily.
Maybe we could do a shared Google Doc.
Yeah, we can do that.
Then we could fill in any details anybody else forgets.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So we only get a level 1 original skill, or is it based on our original skill value?
It is. You get a level 1 original skill, in addition to the ones that you already have. And then you get 1 professional skill. So, like, since I believe Jaludak is a warrior, the next one he would have is probably swordsman.
A mace flail user, actually. I had to fill
Oh.
that one in. Okay.
And I mean, it doesn't have to be in particular order. You can just choose whichever one you want.
Okay, so I'm reading acquisition of original skills. Players achieve as players achieve a new level, experience level, they add further original skills from 3 groups listed in the preceding section. In order to do this, the player must roll over 50 on the percentile dice. Skills are chosen as follows. Upon attaining level 2, +1 from group 1. So it looks like you have to roll over 50 on the percentile dice.
Then
Should we
you guys
should we
want to
do that?
Just
What did you
to
say?
double check that you get those skills. Just roll 1d100 and try to get over 50.
All right. Okay. All right.
Okay, Jaludak, you get that extra skill.
That's pretty harsh because, like, if you achieve level 3, then you miss out on a group 2 skill. Then if on level 4 you miss out, then you miss out on a group 3 skill.
I mean, we can change that. See, what I would prefer to do is you just gain skills as you learn them in the course of the game.
Okay.
So, like, Simon's character, he would know fishing because of something that happened in the course of the game. Like, maybe over the course of the last adventure to the next adventure, he made some money working as a fisherman in the foreigner's quarter or something.
There is
All right.
actually rules to learn original skills outside of character creation and stuff, outside of leveling. You can, like, if you can find someone to teach you, you can just pay them to teach you the skill.
Oh, yeah, I see that now.
It's quite expensive. It's like 1,000 kaitars for like a group 1 skill. So hold on to your cash if you want to do that.
No,
So
it says that it's only 200 kaitars a month for group 1, 500 for group 2, and 1,000 per month for group 3.
So Do you want us to roll for this?
Yeah, let's roll for it, and then
Okay.
you can learn them in the course of the game as well.
What are we rolling for now?
It would just be a butcher.
Well, I think the only one who needs to roll now is Random's character, Giso.
Oh, sorry, I missed out. I must have missed out on something. What am I needing to roll for?
You need to roll over 50 on 1d100 to gain a Group 1 original skill.
Oh,
The one
right,
you
okay.
chose.
Sure. One sec.
Oh no.
Nope, afraid not.
Okay, so I think probably about 6 weeks passes between this last session and the next one. So you all make your way as best you can in the foreigners' quarter, and eventually you are all sitting in the foreigners' quarter, probably at one of the many hostels, and in comes a priestess of Dlamalish. And everyone is hanging on to her every word and movement. She smells of fragrances that are amazing to the senses.
Ugh,
And
that's obnoxious.
she comes over to Soul and says, Soul, I think your name is. Flamelish has said
How do you know
he
that?
wants you.
I'm sure she has her ways.
Perhaps you and your compatriots would like to join me on a little trip into the city proper.
Sure, why not? Guys, you coming?
Say yes. Say yes.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you hear the thunderstorm of the century occurring. And you unfortunately have to stay in the building for a while longer until the rain stops. But as soon as it stops, and she's been sitting there with you in the foreigners' quarter, you can smell cinnamon
Oh
in
no.
the distance.
It's the Sioux!
Not the Siasu.
Oh, is that what the Sioux smell like?
Yeah.
They smell like musty cinnamon, yes.
Oh, okay. I'm probably enjoying the smell then.
But
Won't
that's
be
where we'll end the
enjoying it.
session, okay?
All right.
Your characters may end up becoming citizens earlier than you expected.
Awesome.
I'm guessing they're expecting us to fight off the Sioux for our citizenship, which is fair enough.
With some help, but yes, you may have to do that.
So cruel. They don't understand the affinity that I have with the Sioux.
I wouldn't say that out loud. Not around too many people.
Yeah, the Sioux and the other inimicable races are not pleasant. And almost assuredly, 99% of them will kill any human, Pechoi, or any other invader race, basically. But yeah, that was the session. I hope everyone enjoyed it. And I'm the Witch King of Sama. Does anyone else want to promote themselves or their Twitters or anything?
I have no social media presence whatsoever, so no, I have nothing more to say.
How about you, Simon?
I don't really stream myself, but I do occasionally play on Grim Streams, which is at Grim Streams, all one word. So subscribe to that as well as this channel if you want to see me play other things as a player. That's the only thing I can really promote, and it isn't even mine.
Okay. So, I'm the Witch King of Samra. If you enjoyed this video or any of my other ones, please subscribe and like this video and the other ones. Hopefully next week we will have another session. If not, it'll be delayed again, but we will play eventually. But I hope everyone enjoyed it, and that is the session.
Peace.